Rain lashed the community center's windows as Ava pushed through the doors, her cane slipping on the wet tile. The sky outside was a bruised gray, and her phone buzzed in her pocket, a voicemail from her doctor she wasn't ready to hear. Pain radiated through her leg. Sharper today, a reminder of the nerve damage that had shadowed her for years. She was late, the guest speaker at today's disability awareness event, and the weight of that role pressed against her chest. She'd barely caught her breath when a voice cut through the lobby's hum sharp, accusing, aimed like a dart. "Hey, you don't belong here." A woman stormed toward her, late 50s, with a severe ponytail and a coat that screamed authority. "Call her Linda." Her eyes were slits, lips pursed, and a fidgety younger man trailed her, looking like he'd rather vanish. Linda blocked Ava's path, hands on hips. "This is for VIPs and speakers, not people like you." Ava's grip tightened on her cane, heart thudding. A few heads turned, strangers pausing, a staff member glancing over from the check-in desk. "I'm a speaker," Ava said, keeping her voice even as she lifted her badge. Linda didn't bother looking. She laughed, a harsh bark that echoed. "Sure you are. And I'm the governor. You don't look disabled. What's with the cane?" "Pro." The words hit hard, familiar but raw. Ava's condition, degenerative illness diagnosed after years of dismissal, didn't show in ways people expected. No wheelchair, no VY cybal scars, just pain that burned beneath her skin and fatigue that clung like damp wool. She learned to live with it, but not with people like Linda. "I'm where I need to be," Ava said, firmer. "Please step aside." Linda's face reddened. "Step aside? You're faking it, hogging space for real disabled people. I saw you walk in hardly limping." She turned to the man beside her, who shifted awkwardly. "Can you believe this? She's practically jogging, and she's got a cane." Ava's knuckles whitened. Eyes were on her now, judging, curious. She wanted to snap, to unleash years of frustration, but she held back. "I'm not MOVYing," she said, voice low, steady. Linda scoffed, spinning toward a staff member who'd approached, gripping a clipboard. "Excuse me, can you deal with this? She's refusing to leave the VIP area, and OBVY usly lying about being disabled." The staff member, a young woman with wide eyes, hesitated, glancing between them. It's shameful," Linda cut in louder. "People like her make it harder for those who actually need help. She's just entitled." Humiliation burned Ava's throat, but she refused to let it show. She was about to speak when a man appeared, mid-40s, with a warm smile and a badge reading "Coordinator, Mark." He looked at Ava, recognition flickering. "Ava, there you are," he said lightly. "We're starting soon. Come with me." Linda's jaw dropped, her certainty fracturing. Ava stood slowly, leaning on her cane, and met Linda's eyes. "Excuse me," she said coolly. "I have a speech to give." She didn't wait for a reply, following Mark backstage, each step a quiet defiance despite the fire in her leg. Backstage buzzed. Volunteers tested mics, a tech tweaked lights, coffee's faint scent lingered. Mark handed her a water bottle and nodded to a chair. "You okay?" he asked quietly. Ava nodded, though her hands shook slightly. "Just another day," she said, forcing a smile. She sank into the chair, leg throbbing, and pulled out her note cards. She didn't need them, given this talk before, but they steadied her. Her speech was about invisible disabilities, about assumptions made when pain isn't OBVYS. Today it felt Linda's words echoing. "You don't look disabled. You're faking it." Her phone buzzed again, probably her doctor or her sister. She ignored it. The auditorium was filling, voices drifting through the curtain. Ava sipped water, focusing on her breath. She wasn't nervous about speaking. It was the weight of others' doubts, the glances, the whispers that drained her. The MC's voice broke through, welcoming the crowd. Ava clipped on her mic, straightened her jacket, and took a deep breath. The curtain waited, a thin barrier to the spotlight. "Please welcome Ava Bennett," the MC said, here to share her experience with an invisible disability. Applause ushered her forward. The lights glared, blurring the crowd, but she felt their presence, hundreds watching. Her cane tapped softly, grounding her as she reached the podium. She set her cards down and scanned the audience. There, near the middle, was Linda, posture stiff, face pale shock or shame, maybe both. Their eyes met briefly. Ava offered nothing, just a steady glance before turning to the mic. "Good morning," she began, voice clear despite the knot in her chest. "Thank you for being here. My name is Ava Bennett, and I live with a disability you can't always see. Today, I want to talk about what that means to move through a world that doubts your pain because it doesn't show." The room stilled, a hush of real attention. Ava didn't mention Linda. Her story was bigger. She spoke of the years to get diagnosed, doctors calling her over-anxious, friends fading when she couldn't keep up. She described fatigue like drowning, pain that shifted but never left. And she talked about judgment strangers glaring at her handicapped parking, colleagues whispering she was milking it, the endless need to prove she was sick. "Disability doesn't always look like you expect," she said, voice firm. "It's not about seeming broken. It's about VYing with something in VY Cybele that's still real. It's being told you're fine when your body feels like it's failing." Heads nodded, faces softened. A woman in the front dabbed her eyes. A man near the aisle leaned forward, rapt. Ava shared other stories, people with lupus, fibromyalgia, all fighting unseen battles. She didn't hide the hard parts. Isolation, anger, days when VYing up felt easier. But she spoke of resilience, community, refusing to be defined by doubt. When she finished, silence hung, heavy with meaning. Then applause surged, warm and loud, half the room standing. Ava's throat tightened, not pride, but relief at being heard, believed. She stepped back, cane tapping, and slipped behind the curtain. Mark was there. "That was powerful," he said softly. Ava gave a tired smile, sinking into a chair as adrenaline faded. Her leg ached, hands trembling. She sipped water, the crowd's noise blurring. The next speaker started, but Ava's mind lingered on the audience's faces, their shift from doubt to understanding. And Linda, had she stayed? The break came fast. Ava moved to the lobby, stretching her leg carefully. It buzzed with chatter, coffee mugs clinking. Strangers approached a man whose wife had chronic pain, a woman with a sister's unseen illness. Ava listened, nodded, offered quiet words. It was always like a flood of connection, proof her story wasn't alone. She was heading for a corner when she heard her name, soft, unsure. Turning, she saw Linda, alone, clutching a napkin. Her ponytail sagged, her earlier fire gone. She looked smaller, eyes flickering with shame. "I didn't know," Linda said, voice low. "I didn't realize you were actually disabled." Ava raised an eyebrow, waiting. She wouldn't ease this, but she wouldn't be cruel. "You didn't know because you didn't ask," she said calmly. "You judged me first." Linda winced, napkin crumpling. "I thought you were taking advantage. You looked fine, and never thought about in VY Cybele disabilities." "Not really." Ava breathed slowly. Part of her wanted to walk away, let Linda stew. But the part that spoke to crowds saw a chance. "It's not your job to decide who's disabled," she said, tone even but sharp. "You don't gatekeep pain with a glance." Linda nodded, eyes dropping. "I know. I am sorry. I was horrible, and I feel like an idiot." Ava studied her. Sincerity was there, raw in Linda's shaking voice, her averted gaze. "You don't apologize because I spoke," Ava said. "You apologize because you treated someone like garbage. If I wasn't on stage, would you be here?" Linda paused, the silence heavy. "Maybe not," she admitted. "But I heard you, and it hit me. I've always judged fast. I didn't see how wrong that was." Ava leaned on her cane, leg burning. "Then take that with you," she said. "Not just for me, but for everyone who doesn't look sick enough. Stop. Listen." Linda's eyes glistened. "I will. Thank you for not tearing into me. I deserved it." Ava shrugged, exhaustion settling. "I'm not here to punish. I'm here to change things." She turned, then glanced back. "And Linda? It's not about VYing. It's about doing better." She walked away, Leah VYing Linda with her napkin and thoughts. The event blurred on more talks, a panel where Ava answered questions with other advocates, conversations with attendees sharing their struggles. Each moment drained her, but also fueled her, a reminder of her purpose. As it ended, Ava stood by a window, rain streaking the glass. A young woman approached early 20s, shy smile. "Hi," she said. "You're talking a lot. I have Crohn's, and people say I look fine. But I'm not." Ava's heart softened, recognition aching. "It's lonely, isn't it?" she said gently. "Pro VYing your pain." The woman nodded, eyes damp. "Yeah." They talked briefly, sharing understanding. When she left, Ava lingered, letting the day settle. She thought of Linda, of the email she'd find later and signed, but hers. "I've been thinking about your words. I was wrong, and I'm sorry. I'm starting to see differently. Thank you." Ava didn't know if Linda would truly change. But that email, like her apology, was a crack in ignorance. Enough. Rain had eased as she left, skies softening to dusk. Her cane tapped wet pavement, pain and strength intertwined. The drive home was quiet, thoughts humming. At home, she sank in her couch, her space a warm refuge. Her phone showed missed calls, doctor, sister, and messages from strangers who'd heard her. She read them, each a ripple. The last was from the woman with Crohn's. "Thank you for making me feel seen." Ava set her phone down, rain's patter matching her breath. She didn't need applause. She needed this, knowing her truth had landed, lightening the world a little. For now, that was enough. If you were the one in this story, how would you react? Would you stand up and fight back, or accept the unreasonable pressure and control from the HOA? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this VY Deo with more people. Your small action gives us the motivation to keep bringing you more intense and engaging stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next VY Deo.